Welcome to this week's Vikings Report with Justin Ekstrom from KNSI Sports in St. Cloud, Minnesota, brought to you by Erbs and Gerbs.
Welcome back to another edition of Purple Positivity. Once again, it can be positive. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know, actually. just insane. Like, I don't understand what defense Ed Donatel is running. I hope to God things change. But how much worse would it have been if they actually lost to Detroit Lions? So I was saying before this game that I thought the Lions were much, much better than what people were giving them credit for. I mean, the Vikes were, I think, 7 or 8 point favorites in that game, and they had to do all they could just to come back and win that game. And I still, like I said on Twitter, I have no idea how in the heck they even won that game. Did they win that game, or did Dan Campbell lose that game? But what got you there is going for it on fourth down constantly. And that's what ended up biting you in the ass, I guess. But that's one of those things that he said in his opening press conference, that he's going to bite things as people are getting up off the turf, bite kneecaps and stuff like that. Well, apparently he meant he was going to bite himself in the ass. I don't know. Either way, if Vikes win 28-24, I had them winning 28-20, but whatever. I can't be cool like Ben Lieber and get the exact score correctly, but hey. Anyway, so the Vikes get out of there with a win. Big props to just keeping at it offensively and then hitting KJ Osborne wide open. You would assume that now they got to realize that Adam Thielen is still on this team, because once they started targeting him, that's when things started opening up. I know Detroit Lions defense isn't all that great, but whatever. So now the Vikes are 2-1. Kirk Cousins didn't look great. Once again, I'm not sure. The offensive line apparently is definitely not an issue. All the grades across the board seem to be pretty positive. Obviously, those are people that pay attention to grades and all those things like PFF, all those guys. I just pay attention. And it looks like he was still getting pressured, or at least moved back. And there's a few big spots in the game where he just kind of chucked the ball up, especially in the first half. But, they fought back. They won. So now they're 2-1. They go to London. Cue everyone's crappy London voices and stuff, because they're all going to have to sound cheeky and whatnot because the Vikes are playing over in London. You know, that's just what has to happen. They play the hated New Orleans Saints. I guess most people hate them just because of, the 2009 stuff. I just don't like them. I wasn't a big fan of Drew Brees the whole time, but, he's no longer there. I obviously hate Butt Lips, Sean Payton, and all that, but that's all over with. Anyway, Jameis Winston doesn't exactly scare me, but we'll see what happens. I know the Vikings offense has some questions that need to be answered, and the defense definitely has to be answered. I don't know if I'm not sure if an early morning our time game is going to help get this team on track, but it's a third straight week where they're not on a regular schedule, so hopefully they travel well. I think the Vikings should win this game. I don't know if they're going to. I had this as a loss to start. So if they end up 2-2 after this, that isn't the worst thing in the world, but I'm actually predicting them to win. I think the Vikings offense starts off fast, starts off furious, gets going, and actually builds a little bit of a lead where their defense can maybe start doing some things that they're trying to accomplish. Not sure about that shell coverage, what's going on there, but obviously it's 2 weeks in a row where it just bites them. Is it something they're just sticking with because it worked against Aaron Rodgers in week 1? I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers in week 1. It worked just once. Now it's not working. So by my Malacca math, that's 1/3 of the time that it worked. So maybe, just maybe, do some adjusting. So hopefully they adjust enough. Maybe the defense is built, or Ed Donatel's scheme is built on having a little bit of a lead. So hopefully the offense gets off to a start. I think this is going to be a little bit of a lower scoring game. I keep predicting higher scores and it gets a little lower, but for some reason I got a feeling of like a 17-13 Vikes win where they're up for a little bit bigger, like 17-3 or something like that, and then towards the end things get a little crazy. So that's what I'll go. I'll go 17-13 Vikes win. Hopefully not too many people start doing the stupid London whatever, you know, the London accent or the whatever you want to call it. Everyone just tries to sound like the Peaky Blinders guys, whatever it is. Anyway, so thanks to Erbs and Gerbs, and I know Matt Geffrey doesn't want me to thank him, but thank him anyway. Hope you guys have a good week. See you next week.